It's hard to do much of anything these days, of course, without having a smartphone in our hands.
That is so true. And one study says the average young adult spends 5 hours a day staring at a phone. And while some side effects of spending all that time staring at the screen are well publicized, there are some others you may really not be thinking about.
Channel 3's Courtney Zeller takes a closer look.
We all know the potential hazards of walking with a cell phone, for example, and possibly bumping into people or objects. We also know that people have orthopedic issues related to looking at their cell phone, and there's also issues with the cleanliness of the cell phone and whether there's an increased risk of infection or other things.
But could the light your smartphone gives off be aging your skin?
HEV is high energy visible light, which is also called blue light or near UV light, which is a type of light radiation that comes out of the cell phone.
Dr. Andrew Selner, the director of the Hartford Hospital Cancer Institute, says that while there isn't a lot of research on the aging effects of HEV light, in theory, it could be very damaging.
HEV light penetrates the skin a little bit more deeply, and that's why some researchers have speculated that there may be injury to tissues below the skin surface, in the connective tissue, for example, or in the dermis, not in the epidermis, that could potentially lead towards wrinkling or skin injury. So it does penetrate a little bit more deeply, but we don't yet have any research to demonstrate that.
And while the research hasn't come back on that, there is something else to think about.
I think one of the greater concerns might be that we know that the reflection off the screen of a cell phone or an iPad can significantly, by some 30 or 40%, increase the amount of ultraviolet radiation, if you're outside, that you might get from sun exposure.
Dr. Selner's advice, slather on the sunscreen and...
I think we just have to use our own good common sense in terms of using our cell phone and try and limit it to times when we really need it, and recognize that there may be unintended consequences of using it all the time.
Courtney Zeller, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.